Welcome to part 4 of my travels. Hi, my name is Astrid. Welcome to my living in Australia from 2016. This is a very interesting overview I want to give you. I lived in South Bank, Brisbane. I rented an apartment, and as you can see here, there's the newsletter we get every month with news from our property managers. And as you can see, there's a new building and property manager, and we get informed about it. It's called ASW1 and Fish Lane Apartments. So I was able to rent a car parking lot at the car park underneath the apartment buildings or outside the buildings. If they have separate outdoor spaces. I didn't need it because I didn't have a car. So there was a monthly payment which I didn't have to manage, but the Fish Lane Apartments, the property manager of the building, they had to manage all the car park lots, the car park lots, which were attached to this building. During my stay in Australia in 2016, from July until November, I rented an apartment. Usually, I had a huge backpack with me, but since I rented this apartment at Brisbane South Bank, I was able to leave my huge 20-kilogram backpacking gear at the apartment and just go for day trips. I mean, I went the whole day to South Bank to see to sit on the riverfront and have a coffee, or just visiting areas at South Bank which were part of the cultural events area. So it was really a quiet engagement with your environment, and I really enjoyed having this opportunity to go to Bali. And as you can see in this map, I went to Melbourne there. There was a coffee place in Melbourne. I enjoyed reading a book there, and I had at Melbourne the chance to visit an art gallery as well. But I didn't stay indoors. I stayed outside the main entrance and just enjoyed the taking in all the architecture and the installations they also had outdoors at Melbourne Art District. Also in Melbourne, I had a pleasant 2 night stay at a hotel. Also, I went to Yamba, and as you can see on top, the two pictures of myself on top, they are both taken by myself. I went to Copenhagen, and it was really rainy and dark, and I had to buy a scarf and a jacket, a wool jacket, because I didn't have anything that would keep me warm, because I came from Bali, and in October in Australia it's really warm and it's really lovely there. So this was something that happened, and I took my backpack from my rental at Brisbane, and did fly to Copenhagen, and after that I did fly to Germany in November. So as you can see, there's the property managers, they hand you application form. And also there's a cover of my ebooks I did write in 2023 about a few little stories. As an author, I managed to keep it short, and there are a few ebooks I published by myself by using the service from publisher platforms like Tolino Media from Munich and ePubli from Berlin. So these are currently on the market, available at online stores. Yeah, so have a look. Short clip. I want to show you my electricity bill with the supply address from 40 Maryville Street in South Brisbane. So there's amount of payable and payment required by the 23rd of August in 2016. So this I mentioned because it's about my Brisbane apartment. So I had this date of invoice on the 2nd August in 2016, and this is my supply for 13 days. There's also my account number. It's my apartment, 110424 Cordelia Street in South Brisbane, Queensland 4101. And as you can see, there are the meter numbers, the readings, and the amount. It's about electricity, so every tenant has to vouch for an amount of electricity, or you can see amount from last bill, 0 Australian dollars. So I paid beforehand also. So my last payment, as you can see, I guess this is my first bill. The amount to pay was 29 Australian dollar and 45 cents. So I paid this separately to the supply address. So so you will find out I have to pay my rent to the tenancy agency. They were inside at the there was a management unit, like a little office just around the corner of the building where my apartment was. So I could always go there and ask anything what matters about my apartment. But this electricity bill I had to pay, and I used my iPad because I had internet connections, and I had to pay by Visa or a regular payment by my account at a bank in Australia, because I opened up for this very reason to rent an apartment. I opened up an account at the National Bank of Australia, and yeah, it requires just in a few minutes, but this was a regular deal I had to, or a regular thing I had to manage, so a regular payment I had to do to keep my electricity up, and it was a really great company, and no complaints. Great, and always the same. As you can see, there's the agency name. It's Space Properties South Brisbane, and they have this brand or logo, this brand. So you can email them by email to southbrisbane.rentals@spaceproperty.com.au, and their address is in 130 Vulture Street, South Brisbane, Queensland 4101. You can also phone them or fax or give them hands up over the fax. You can tell them nothing at all, because they have their application form, and you can see here this agency requires um, to handle the tenancy or process, um, you need following informations: other photo IDs or previous tenancy ledgers, previous for rent receipts, or one recent pay slip, so from your last employment or letter of employment. So I was a foreign citizen. I had just opened up my own bank account, and I could by Visa card pay from my German bank account. So this was nationally accepted in Australia. Also, I needed, as you can see, a recent bank credit card, booked extra for my healthcare insurance, an insurance that will cover myself, not anyone else, or not me, including with just myself. My healthcare insurance covered also a stay in a foreign country. So this was something I did have as a document with me all the time. So you can see I did have. So this is something I would like to show you. This is my way from my Brisbane apartment, but still, I guess it was May, the 24th of May. So I guess I didn't have my apartment there at this point. I lived at the Riverside South Bank Hotel in Brisbane. It's a great view across the Brisbane River. It's really quiet. I think it was not on the main holiday season, so it was in May. On the 24th of May in 2016, I stayed there, and I was curious about or maybe I would like to say I was interested in the South Bank, Brisbane area, because they call it the cultural district or the cultural area. So there are a lot of buildings with museums, with galleries, also opera house, not like the huge one in Sydney, but it's still all in this South Bank area. And I did enjoy walk from the hotel at the South Bank, near the Brisbane, close to the Brisbane River, along the river. You can see here I crossed the bridge and went to the modern gallery, modern art gallery of Queensland to see this great exhibition. I didn't plan this. It was at the Almanac. It's a little magazine. Exact this art piece was the cover was at the cover at the Almanac. Is a little Australian magazine about art and culture and cultural events. But I didn't know that it was at this point. I didn't read this article about this art piece, so it was a great surprise. So as you can see, it's a large wall, and it was at the entrance, or really few steps close to the entrance, that you could see this huge art piece. And it's really interesting. They wrote a few texts from the artist explaining their pieces, but I didn't read all of them. I just really enjoyed the walk from my hotel, which has a little limited room. I had a self-reliant apartment, which means that you have always a kitchenette, like you can see here. Something like this was not included. It was more like a water cooking machine So you have to boil your water, and then you can choose between tea and instant coffee, maybe. So I really enjoyed having a coffee sometimes at the South Bank, at the cultural district. So they have a lot of really special areas where you can sit and enjoy your coffee and have a view across the river front. So I didn't read much reviews about restaurants or coffee shops or anything. I just wanted to relax while walking to like an exhibition, or in this case, it was really by accident that I had to see these great art pieces. And in the entrance, as you can see, there's still lightning. There's still light, natural light, which comes from the sunlight. It must be around. Let me guess. It must be around noon, I guess. Yes, around 1 or 2. I stayed there the whole time at the South Bank. So maybe this was the reason that I found my apartment so quickly, because I really stayed in the area, but not really because I didn't walk somewhere else, just because there were a lot of interesting uh, places to visit, and it's a great area to walk by foot. So this was something that I did, and in a way I felt really comfortable walking to the museum.